for joining me today. I thought we'd do something a little different. I think I'm going to be doing these videos for the next few weeks on Sundays, and basically it's our story and why we decided to move here. And um, some of you know we came from California. We now live in Tennessee, and it's a great state, and the people are really nice. Despite what you hear on social media, we have run into nobody that has said anything bad about us being here. And everybody's invites you to church, and they're just polite. And it is kind of a breath of fresh air. In California, people aren't all that polite, I guess. They're not cheerful. But there's a lot of stresses in California, and everybody's living underneath that. And so it's kind of nice to get out from underneath that. My wife and I decided that we would probably try and move as I got older. We have been looking at different states throughout the years, Idaho, Missouri, Kentucky, Texas. I mean, we looked at a lot of them. And I'm kind of an analytical guy, so I have done lots of research on the different places. And so the opportunity came that my wife could work from home. And so therefore, we made the decision. This was our opportunity. It seemed to us that God had opened up a door for us to go. And so we started making movements that direction. And there was a lot of prayers going on and a lot of, I don't know if you want to call it anxiety, but just the unknown going on in our heads and trying to figure all this stuff out. But we're glad that we made the move at this point. I mean, everything is nice. The people are nice. We are now in the middle of summer. So we're kind of in the muggiest part of the year, which everybody would say, oh, you won't like the humidity, you know. I've worked outside my whole life. I come from a construction background. I was a contractor in California, mostly doing remodels and finished carpentry and painting. I have found the weather here, it is definitely different. But I've found that it's not a deal breaker, at least not for me. And I still spend a lot of time outside. As you'll see in some of these videos, I'm working out. It's 90 plus degrees and 70% humidity. So it's pretty oppressive at times here. But it doesn't seem like it's that way all the time. We've kind of been going through this stretch right now where it has been kind of that way for a while, but we had a few weeks when we first moved here and it was just as pleasant as could be, and was really nice. And we were out checking out the area and finding new restaurants and different grocery stores and all those kinds of things that you would do in a new area. So my wife got the opportunity to work from home, so we decided to move. And just a little bit of my backstory. I had a heart attack at 48 years old, and that kind of changed some things for me. I just didn't have quite the energy that I used to have, I guess. I still worked hard, still do. But right now, the way it works out, I mean, as a sole proprietor in California, I could take a day off here or there or whatever, and make it work. But like I said, I am getting older, so at some point you got to start thinking about, well, what happens when you're 65? What happens when you're 70? So we were trying to look towards that direction and figure that kind of stuff out. And as some of you know, California is a very expensive state to live in. And this state is I don't want to say it's not expensive, but it's not expensive compared to California. Our homeowner's insurance is probably a seventh of what it was. Gas prices are lower. Our utility bills for electrical, we had solar at our house in California, and our true-up bill, just the amount of money we had to pay beyond what our solar was producing was, you know, $2,500 to $3,000 a year. And here we've had a couple of electric bills, but our highest electric bill, and that was just happened, and we've been running the AC 24/7 and all that kind of stuff. We're not trying to really conserve per se, but our utility bills was like $130, which is doable. In my world, at least, it is. So we decided to go ahead and move, and we met with a friend of mine, of ours. She's a realtor, and talked to her about it, and we got the ball rolling. Now, the house we lived in, it needed some stuff done to it, so I probably spent the better part of 4 to 6 months, I can't remember right now, to fix some things on the house, get it ready to go on the market. And we did finally, after that stretch of time and a lot of cleanup. We probably threw away probably 60 or 70 yards worth of stuff, and it wasn't like it was all trash. It was just stuff, things you can't sell on Facebook Marketplace. It doesn't pay to move this stuff. As a contractor, I had lots of stuff in my shop that I had accumulated over the years, bits and pieces of different jobs and parts that you would pull from for other jobs, and all of those kinds of stuff. And there was just no place to get rid of it. Some of the stuff got given. I gave things to friends. I gave our realtor does I think it's a Boy Scout sale. Some things went to that. But we tried to disperse the stuff that we could, but still a lot of stuff just went to the dump. And that was interesting. And now that we've moved, we kind of wish in some ways we had thrown away more stuff and kept other stuff. But I think that's kind of normal when you're moving across the country, because the moving with the way we moved with pods, which I will get into later in another video of our experience with pods. So we spent the time getting the house ready to go. And then we finally put it on the market. And lo and behold, we had a full price offer like within 24 hours. And we were like, oh great. Our realtor was on her way over to show us the offer, and the people that put in the offer called her and canceled it. And that started a year-plus long journey of trying to sell our house. It took us like 13, 14 months for our house to sell. We had lots of traffic. Our agent was wonderful. She had so many open houses, so much promotion. It was a wonderful experience as far as she is concerned during this time. But I tell you, after your house has been on the market, you got pretty much everything is kind of packed up. You're living kind of on a skeleton kind of existence. It can start to wear on you. I mean, Christmas came and all of our Christmas stuff was packed up, so we hardly decorated for Christmas. And my wife really likes to decorate for Christmas, and Christmas is one of my favorite holidays. and I like to get out my little blow up things and put them in the yard and all those kinds of things, and it just didn't happen, and that was a little tough. And by the time we got to the end of it, we were pretty well haggard, and we ended up taking the price of the house down substantially to get it to sell. I'm not really quite sure what the reasoning why, but it was what it was. But we were still able to sell the house and make enough money to, obviously pay off that house, and we had money to put for a down payment, and we had money to move and get started here. So, I guess in that aspect, we're blessed. We were able to make the move, and we were provided for. We didn't come with enough money for me to get all of the little doodads and things that I wanted for this little homestead and stuff. But we'll work on it, and we're gonna get there. And hopefully you'll keep watching the videos, and the channel will grow, and you can come with me as we hopefully put in a garden and raise some pigs and chickens, and we do meat chickens, and we brought all of our processing equipment for the chickens, and we'll see where this whole journey goes. And that's exactly what it is. This is a journey. It's different. I mean, when people talk about people moving across the country, I have lived in California almost all of my life. You could almost say all of my life. I was born in California. We moved out of state for like 3 years, and then we moved back when I was like 4. So it was just, it's been a journey, and it's been fun. We've been able to go up here and see some waterfalls and some different things, and the little eateries that are in the little towns that are around us. And it's been kind of a fun experience at this point. And I hope that many more experiences will come. There's just so much to go see and so much to go do from here. And it's really not as far as you would think. In California, everything is just like spread out. It takes hours to get anywhere. Here, it's not quite the same. I mean, it would take from our old house to LA, 7 hours? I mean, in 8 hours, I could be at the coast from here. So, it's been a wonderful experience so far. So I just hope that you'll come with me. We'll talk a little bit more about the move and the journey over, which was fun in itself, and how much time it took even after we sold the house to make the move. We have plans, and God has other plans, and that's kind of our story. So I hope that you'll come along with us on this journey. We'll go into more detail on the move and all the stuff that came with that. That was quite an adventure in itself. I hope you have a wonderful day.